Hello. My name's Marlo, and I'm going to start making food more explicitly political. If Defender of the Westiny can do video games, I can do food. And first thing, let me put you on something. We got Red Bull at home, okay? This is, these are like 99 cents for, I think, a pack of like 15. And they're just as energizing as Red Bull, not nearly as delicious, okay? But right now, food costs are at a 50-year high, and none of us can afford our shit. Energy costs are going crazy, so like we gotta save somewhere. And I'm personally tired of people telling me that I should meal prep and eat the same thing, you know, all week for like 3 weeks, and that it should only be rice and beans and shit. You don't have to do that. It doesn't have to be like that. So I'm gonna start talking a little bit about things that I think are good tips to help save some fucking money on your grocery bill so that we can all survive this, so that we can fix the fucking mess that the Trump administration has created in this goddamn country. I just finished peeling all this garlic, and I'm about to get some oil heating up, because one of the biggest things that I'm always going to advocate for when it comes to saving money on groceries is investing time not into meal prepping a whole bunch of individual meals, but prepping like sauces, because you don't have to put in a ton of work to cook a good meal if you have a really flavorful topping that you can just throw right on there. And I'm going to do some lazy fucking chili oil today. Lazy, okay? We're not doing Lao Gan Ma, because, like, look, I like this shit. Where'd she go? She's in here somewhere. Okay, here she is. I like this shit, okay? It's my favorite fucking shit, but it's like $4-ish where I live for one of these, nearly 8-ounce, not quite 8-ounce jars. We can do better. We can do cheaper, and we can do just as much flavor. I don't focus as much on the crunchy aspect just because you gotta get like fucking peanuts and stuff, and I don't feel like dealing with it. But you can do it at a softer consistency for almost zero money. It's so fucking cheap. And so let's get into it. What I'm gonna do is, now this is what I use because I'm weird. This is rice bran oil. I get mine in bulk like this from the chef store. If you have one in your area and you're not a chef, go fucking check it out. They've got the most durable tools for a super low price. And look at this thing. My pride and joy cutting board. It is so large. I love it. That aside, you do not have to use rice bran oil for this. You can use canola oil. You can use vegetable oil. Those are going to be your cheap options. This is as cheap as those things, but no one's done a study to show me that it's gonna give me like colon cancer or something yet. So that's what I'm running with. Step 1, heat it up. You might have noticed that in this kitchen you are not seeing like an oven. I don't have one. Also, I'm not tall. My ceiling is 6 feet high. Like the people who live in their mom's basement and like hang out on Discord all day. I'm like independent to a fault, so I live in my own basement and spend time on Discord all day. So that's what's going on down here. I have a sink, and I've got like a chest freezer, and I've got like a mini fridge, and I've got this really cool tool chest that I use for more countertop space. But everything that I'm going to do on this channel is going to be using a little electric hot plate, or an air fryer, or a rice cooker, or this thing. You'll see that I haven't washed the other component to this thing. This is like an electric Dutch oven. Thanks for the Christmas gift, Mom. Much obliged. Very, very, very useful tool. Big fan. But anything that I'm doing in here, you can basically do on a stovetop. So if I can do it, you can fucking do it. I'm just gonna eyeball a whole bunch of this bullshit directly into my pot. I'm using a bigger pot than I need for the amount of stuff that I'm using because I'm scared of oil fires. What are you gonna do? So I got this to the highest setting just to get it up to temperature for now. And then let me show you what I got from Walmart. Whoop, there goes an onion. Okay, so look, if there's any group of people in this country that I want to put some respect on their name, it's my goddamn Latinos, and it's especially my Mexican friends. Y'all are in some plight right now, and I've spent a lot of time with like Spanish-speaking friends in like work kitchens and stuff. And what I learned from my Latino like coworkers in terms of flavor has been indispensable in my life. Chile de árbol is one of my favorites, and then today I'm trying chile piquín because I haven't tried it. We're gonna find out. So with these dried ones, what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to rehydrate them before they go in hot oil. So I'm gonna use this thing I got on discount. And then, okay, my kettle's still hot. And I'm going to just put hot water on these hoes. And I'm going to try and keep it down to the minimum amount of water possible because I don't want to leach away a lot of flavor. I just want to rehydrate these guys. I like to keep all those lovely seeds because I like my shit to be fucking spicy. Et voila. Voila indeed. Okay. And then you know what? I think I can smash those down in there like that. Jerry-rig some way to keep them in there like this. My ladle tends to work, so I'm going to go with that. And I'm just going to let that soak in there for a little while. Let me put it over here on the freezer. And then, so I'm going to do chilies. I'm going to put this through my little $10, $15 food processor. And then I'm going to do my onion. You don't really need to do a whole ton more. I'm going to show you some of the spices that I like to use. And then you can kind of run with it how you want to run with it. I am really hoping at some point to have some more shelves in here. I'm learning how to build stuff. Sue me. I'm technically a girl. So I'm not super good at that shit yet. Fuck you. Oh, I need to get more of these. Where are you? Okay, so I like cloves. I need more, obviously. That's not very many. I like to put a stick of cinnamon in mine. Where'd she go? Chinese 5 spice. Also need more of that. And this is just a mixture of like anise and... I should really just replace this with anise because I have cinnamon, I have fennel, I have cloves. I don't have any ginger right now. I forgot to buy it, so we're just going to use that anyways. And I've got some of that. This is Sichuan peppercorn. I really like the tingly mouthfeel that it gets. You can get this on Amazon. As you get to know me, you're gonna know that like I'm gonna spend money on stuff like this overwhelmingly, as opposed to spending money on stuff like buying sauce. Because I can use, this is going to last me a nice long time, and I can use it for a whole bunch of different shit. And I think that's genuinely one of the best approaches, is like investing in the flavorings that you're going to use, and then just like buying the cheapest fucking possible ingredients you can find, and then using all these lovely flavorings that you've invested in to make all that cheap garbage more appealing for you. My cat wants to come inside. I don't know if you can hear him on that mic. Another thing I'm going to use is, this is cilantro seeds. Technically that would be coriander. But in this sense, it's actually quite literally like garden seeds for growing cilantro. I found that these specific ones have a really nice floral scent and a really nice like sweet flavor, as opposed to some of the coriander, like whole coriander that I've bought. I just really like them. I've been using them for a while. These are the last ones that I have left. I'm going to use some green peppercorns because they have like kind of a more bitter thing going than the pink ones. And then obviously I'm going to use a fuck ton of salt. And like, look, we have to have a conversation about my last ingredient here. MSG is not bad for you. It is 6 times less toxic than table salt. And like, I don't know, a lot of people don't know what MSG stands for. It stands for make shit good. So you should use it. It makes shit good. I don't know who told you it's bad for you. I don't know who's lying to you that it gives you like a headache or some shit. I've met so many people who like my cooking who don't know there's MSG in it. I don't feel like I need to necessarily like tell people who like didn't know there was MSG in it, and then like later down the line have told me like, oh, I never eat MSG. I've never enjoyed it. I always can tell it's in there. It's like, it's so bad for you. And it's like, I don't think so. I genuinely just do not think so. So something that I'll probably always advocate that people do spend a little bit of money on is a thermometer. Mine is digital. I actually stole this from a kitchen where I used to work, kind of by accident. I didn't realize it was in my apron when I quit. But something like this with the little case and like the little digital readout, just makes it so that you don't give yourself salmonella, and it kind of helps you to get a grip on things as you're working. So this is one of the few tools, like, I'm going to definitely advocate to like that you buy a couple of tools on this channel, but like, it's going to be like the economical shit. Okay. So I'm going to just check and see how hot this oil's gotten so far. It's probably pretty toasty. Yeah, I'm looking at already like 225. So I'm going to drop this down to like medium low. And I'm going to see if I can get it to kind of stabilize at like 180 to 200 in that realm. Let's blitz this bullshit and get this onion cut up. But it just makes things a little easier in my opinion. I don't buy peeled garlic because I don't think it's that hard to peel it. And it's just a really cheap ingredient that I really prefer to use in bulk. So that's my defense of that. One moment. And like, this thing is like this thing is so fucking cheap. It was a Christmas gift from my my grandmother, who has been living on Social Security for a really long time. So like, if she can buy it, you can buy it, bitch. You don't need it though. You can just chop this shit up. Oh, that smells so nice. So yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to make this into smaller pieces because that gives it greater surface area exposure to the oil. And the goal here is that this oil is literally just going to fry out all of the natural water content of this garlic, this onion, and those chilies. And then at the end, I'm going to put some stuff like fish sauce and a couple of other things in there just to funk it up, because I like my shit funky. If you don't, that's fine. One moment, please. Now, I want to talk to you guys about the fact that none of you have any fucking friends. Because it's really concerning. And when I say, like, none of you have any fucking friends, like, what I mean is you don't spend time with people. Like, online people are great, and I love my online people, okay? I love getting my political, like, discussions out of my system that I can't necessarily have with everybody in my, like, IRL life. But I think it's really concerning that, like, our social fabric is deteriorating. And so one of the huge reasons why I want to advocate for you to learn how to cook is because I want you to have people over to your house to eat food. And I know that a good 75% of the people who just heard me say that, like, their asshole just retreated 6 inches up inside of their body. Like, you clenched it up in a way that, like, you haven't clenched in a hot minute. Look, take a popper, okay? Because our social fabric needs to be rewoven. It needs to be fucking rewoven. We can't keep going on like this. It's fucking insane to imagine us healing the broken shit that we're dealing with right now in any way, shape, or form if we don't have people in our community that we can trust and who can trust us. And there is no better way to accomplish that established trust, that bond with your neighbors and with your community than eating food together. Now, look, I understand maybe not wanting to let people inside of your house. Notably, some struggles letting people inside of my house. I do still bring my friends over. Sometimes I have to, like, remind tall people before they stand up to be very careful because they'll sit in a chair for a while and, like, really unfortunate. Genuinely, though, finding some way to share a meal with people and to offer them something that you've cooked is one of the most incredible social transformations that you will see in your life. It changes everything. To sit over a meal, to acknowledge that, like, I am a body, you are a body, we both have physical needs that we have to meet, and those things are under threat right now in big ways from this administration. I'm gonna run this through the food processor as well. Why the fuck not? Don't do more work than you have to do, ever. I'm really bad at that. I complicate things on purpose because I like to. So we'll learn things together, guys. Do not worry. But, like, unironically, if we wanna fix our country, we gotta fix our society, and, like, you can't legislate that. That's not a legal issue. That's a me and you issue. We fix that. One moment, please. And, like, if we don't fix that soon, we won't have any, like, established connections with each other in order to, like, in order to collaborate and cooperate when we do get back into power. Like, if we get these midterms locked in, like, at the time of this recording, like, we're still worrying about Michigan, and we're still worrying about, you know, like, we're still doing primaries most of the country. But, like, if we don't get our shit together and, like, get to know each other, we're not going to have any basis on which to establish proper common ground in our communities. We're not going to have any basis on which to, like, operate. We have to be able to get along in order to fix this bullshit, and we are not getting along very well. Like, I would love to be able to make a difference in my community. Whoops. But Jesus fucking Christ, it's like people don't know how to get along. People don't have any interest in getting to know each other. People don't show up for things. People don't leave their houses. Like, that's the first thing we gotta fix if we're gonna get any of this shit put together. So, like, that's the main reason why I want to start making a little bit more content about food and, like, talking to you about why I think you should cook and, like, what I think you should cook and how I think you could save money cooking. Because you could become a huge hub of social development that later enables people to collaborate in huge ways. Like, even if you don't necessarily think of yourself as, like, a perfect person to do, like, you know, big political, you know, initiatives in your community, you might be the person that helps those people meet each other. Huge deal. One moment, please. I really worry that it's gonna be like MAGA all over again if we don't get our shit together and decide what our values are and, like, really start trying to, like, make a concentrated effort to reestablish our social fabric. Twitter is not the best place to have a good conversation about what's the right policy. And, you know, like, what's the right policy is kind of a different answer depending on where you're at. Like, if you're rural, you might have you might need something different than people in an urban setting. Or if you're in a blue state, or if you're in, like, a climate change, like a heavily affected by climate change area, you might need different policies than people whose weather is more relatively stable. And so it's like the local level is where we need to put our focus for the next couple of months, so that when we get these midterms, when we fucking get these midterms, one moment please, that we know exactly what we're gonna do with the power that we just earned at the ballot box, you know? Okay, so I'm gonna start getting this stuff into this oil here pretty shortly. And what you're gonna, like, when you do this, you'll see why I chose a bigger pot. And it's because it's gonna bubble up and steam and like go crazy if you do everything correctly. Which, you know, I do things wrong all the time, so we'll see. And you just want it to stay relatively calm to the degree that it's possible. My counter is clean, so I'm going to take this shit off of here and make sure I don't lose it. Waste not, want not. One moment, please. Okay. So I'm going to get the onions and the garlic in there first because they are the freshest ingredients and they're going to take the longest to, like, simmer down. Even though it's a technical term, simmer down. Okay. You can see all that steam coming off of that. The heat from the oil basically makes the water, the internal water of the vegetable boil and makes it escape as gas. That's why frying stuff really desiccates it, really dries it out, is because being encapsulated in that hot oil makes all the water content boil and steam away. It's pretty cool. And this onion and garlic addition changed the temperature of the oil really dramatically. So I am going to pop that heat for a few minutes. And when I notice that it's starting to kind of bubble a little bit, I'll drop the heat again just so that we kind of get that nice even temperature. Let's see where it put that. It was at... Yeah, so we're a little low right now. Adding the vegetables in dropped it down to about 160, which is a little low for me. Some stuff tidied up. Well, let's talk about that. So one of the hardest things about being someone who's fucking broke and needs to fucking eat isn't just affording stuff. It's like the fact that it takes so much time and energy to do shit. Like, I just stood here. I've been standing here for fucking 20 minutes, and I just started, basically. Which, concerning, right? So, when we talk about good habits for cooking, a lot of it is going to have to do with the fact that right now is a great time to do 5 minutes worth of dishes. And that's a mantra. That's a mantra. Right now is a great time to do about 5 minutes worth of dishes. Because if you don't, you're going to have like 80 years worth of dishes down the line. And it's a lot easier to get dishes done if you're working in a slightly clear sink. And you can see my dishes right now. They're not looking great. They're looking, that's my high microwave. My dishes are looking iffy. I have a lot to do. Not as much as I have often had. I am not somebody who keeps up with things very effectively. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a couple dishes. One moment, please. Okay, so that was like 15 minutes worth of dishes, but you know what? Based. I did everything that was already over there, so that we'll have a fresh reset. Let's have a look at this pot here. She's bubbling. I like that. We're looking at 215, 213. Okay. So I'm going to just drop this back down a little. The simmer is good. That means that a lot of the water is getting fried out of these vegetables. I just want to make sure that I'm not heating this up so much that stuff is going to stick to the bottom. So stirring it and keeping it like around 200 degrees, 280 is what I like to do. Or 180, not 280, 180. Tends to get me the results I like. Imbue the most flavor without burning shit. So I like to leave it uncovered while I'm working. By the way, this shit will make your house smell incredible. Let me put this up here so that we can get these chilies strained and get some seasonings in this motherfucker. Okay, so what's this one? Basically, these are not wanting to break up, which is really annoying, but whatever. Do things the difficult way. Good enough. Make sure that while you're doing this, you're very careful because this shit will get in your eyes, it will get in your crevices if you're not fucking careful, and you'll suffer. So yeah, avoid that if possible. Huge mess on my part. I gotta take care of that first. So one thing I'm not personally gonna worry about a ton is the fact that I have like some big pepper chunks in here. It's not a huge deal, especially because if you do this right, you can either soften everything so that it all breaks apart, or you can crispify everything so that it all breaks apart. Either way, it's all gonna break apart, so it doesn't matter. Now, I'm looking at what I have, and I'm feeling like I want more oil to filling ratio. So I'm going to crank the heat up. I'm going to top it off a little. I like to have like a pinky's worth of oil like in width. So like 5-6 millimeters of oil above the contents. Okay, that's probably like 8 millimeters. I'm not great at the imperial system. I'm working on it. I'm gonna let that get to temperature while I worry about this stuff. I'm gonna throw a stick of cinnamon in there, and you can't stop me. And I'm gonna throw probably all the rest of these cloves in there. I bought this like a year ago. We salute the great service of the cloves. Fennel seed, big fan. I'm gonna do like this much. And I'm going to do about the same amount of the Sichuan peppercorns in both green and pink. Now, here's the thing. I am making this with all of these, like, not very cheap seasonings because when I have a finished product, it makes it so that I can have a bowl of rice with an egg on top for my breakfast, and I like it. Like, I can have a breakfast that costs me like 50 cents and like a spoon of this stuff on top that doubles the cost of the fucking meal to $1. And I can eat a breakfast for $1 that actually makes me happy. Like an unironically delicious breakfast. And so to me that's hugely worth it. I'm gonna use like this much of these coriander seeds. Cool. And I'm not going to mess with the salt or the MSG yet. I am going to do a little 5-spice sprinkle. Watch me sprinkle like that much. Genuinely, this isn't gonna take any more work. That's the amount of work that I'm gonna have to do. This is just gonna sit here and bubble away. In fact, I'm going to put a little teensy bit more oil in here. This is just going to sit and bubble away for the, like, next like 8 hours. I've done these where I left them overnight, and they're fantastic. And like this is demonstrative of like my core principle when it comes to food is that if you buy this, then you don't have to buy like Pop-Tarts. You know what I mean? If you invest in the top, like in the core flavors that make you happy, then you will be able to just eat so much cheap fucking food and be so fucking happy. It's so worth it. It's so worth it to be so fucking happy with your cheap ass food. Most of my meals are just some random fucking vegetables that were really cheap at the grocery store, like whatever was like gonna go bad, and then whatever chicken was gonna go bad, and then like that. It helps a lot. It helps a lot. And like in terms of getting this done, the most complicated part is busting up the dehydrated chilies. And by the way, you don't have to do that the way that I did that. You can do that with a pair of scissors if you so choose. You can just chop them up. Like I said, they're gonna break down once it's crispy-fied. But yeah, that's the general gist of what I'm going to be doing here on YouTube, because I don't want y'all to be so broke and hungry all the time. If I can help, I'd like to help, you know. I'll see y'all around again soon. Stay hungry, okay? For the truth.